All right, all right, all right. Who's awake? I'm awake. It's morning. I'm with two incredible CEOs, women leaders in this very competitive industry today. And they're very awake and alert. I'm very proud of them for it. So let's just get into it. So, how did we even get here? How did we get to the point where we have climbed to the highest ladder in our various industries? Like, Lidiane, how was it for you? Like, how was that ascension to get to where you are today?
Well, for folks that don't know me, I am a Brazilian girl from the suburbs of São Paulo. I never ever dreamed of being the CEO of a public company. So, it's a bit of a moonshot to go to college in the US on a scholarship, become a software engineer, and then really aim to go bold at each step of the way, aim higher. So I'm very grateful to be at a company now that I love the mission that I'm proud to represent. So it's truly an honor to be here.
Oh, that's incredible. I had a similar journey where I never anticipated that I would be an editor-in-chief of a major news publication because I was just so happy being a staff writer. Sarah, what was it like for you in your journey?
So similar to Lidiane, I come from humble beginnings, just a regular girl from Virginia in the United States. My mom was a single mother and teacher growing up, and I didn't grow up thinking, oh, I want to be a CEO of a company, but I also had an engineering degree, and I really loved, really leading and growing and learning. And you asked, like, how we get there. Both Lydia and I both have worked very hard, but also as women have supported each other. And that's been a very important part of the journey because whether it's engineering, whether it's leadership, technology, it is not enough representation in these roles. And I have a big passion for changing those ratios. And I'm so proud to be here with my fellow friend and colleague, former colleague, as two women that have achieved this incredible position.
No, it's really valuable. I mean, oftentimes there's this narrative that that persists in the States that somehow you just ascend to the top all on your own metal, you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. People don't always talk about the importance of networking and relationships and friendships and bonds. Can you speak a little bit on your bond and how it particularly helped you get to where you are today?
Well, it is true that Sarah and I actually know each other quite well. and the importance of having a network, as Sarah mentioned, is so, so important. Especially for women, there's just not enough of us. It's been fascinating to me, though, how women genuinely support one another, and that's been, heartening. And Sarah and I exchange phone calls from time to time, so it's for real. The other thing is, I think men play a huge role as well in being great allies when it works. I have had great mentors along my journey. And so the power of women supporting women and great allies, I think, has an insane amplifier effect, in helping combat some of these racial challenges.
No, that's so important. And you mentioned mentorship. Now, I'm someone who did not have a mentor coming up in this industry. Therefore, like when you see all the bumps and bruises and scars all over me, it's because I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of like made up my own path. Can you talk a little bit about how you found your mentor and what impact that had on your career?
For me, one of my first jobs outside of college, post-college, was working as an engineer at Microsoft. And I really looked up to a vice president there. He was just bright, talented. So he was my, inspiration. And he was just a great ally, great advocate, just great human being. Over the years, I actually asked him to be my mentor, shamelessly, and I am happy to share that now he's the CTO of Bumble. When you really build relationships that last over a decade, it changes the trajectory of your own company, but you build relationships that last. So when I was looking for the best possible CTO, he was the person to call, and it's just an honor to have him.
Sarah, what about you? Did you have a mentor?
I feel very fortunate to have had many people that I can, call my mentors. And mentors are people that are up, beside, below, the whole sphere. You need to look to everyone in this world as people that you can learn from. You mentioned the the word of I.
Yes.
I believe that in this world, we are so naive to think that we ever do anything on our own. If I were to say I did this by myself, I would be pretending that I manufactured my clothing, my shoes, that I made the food that I ate this morning, I made the shelter that I live in. And I think that we all need to show up every day with a gratitude to understand that we do this together. We help each other. Men, women, we all help each other. And that's what we can do to really make the world better. But then for myself, you asked for mentorship. I feel very lucky to have had incredible people that I've learned leadership skills from, that I've also been humbled by. And I think that's important. I don't see any bumps and bruises on you right now. You look gorgeous.
I'm covered if they're covered in jeans and a jacket, right?
I mean, you look gorgeous, but I think that is what's important is you need people that will be truth tellers more than anything.
No, that's really critical. I mean, your industries in particular tend to be very male heavy. And in media, it's a bit more of a mix. But the leadership is still a similar situation. It's often men who are at the top leading media corporations, just like tech companies, just like all Fortune 500 companies. It's a lot of guys. What has been the biggest challenge for you that you think is related to your gender and trying to ascend to the CEO position? Like, what was the thing that like men don't have to think about when they're making their way to the top?
Look, I think in life we all face, stereotypes, biases in every part of our lives, but it's extremely heavier for women. The amount of stereotypes, like we both have engineering degrees, and I'm sure we both have, heard that we're not technical enough, or you name it. There's a tremendous amount of them. For me, it's always been very important to tune out stereotypes. Those are just distractions. It's other people's views. It's important for me that I believe in me, and then to Sarah's point, that you're surrounded by people that you want to be around. Your team, your leadership, your friends, your family. So I think it's really, really important to believe in who you are, be unapologetic about your style, and just be convicted on how to move forward. And do it with integrity. I think, I loved that you talked about the collaboration of those around. For me, collaboration, integrity, transparency, a set of values really ground how I show up each day. And it allows me to not be so worried about the gender dynamics as much.
Good. Sarah, how about you?
I mean, how long do we have? No, but
exactly 14 minutes and 16 seconds.
Good moderator over there. The Web Summit appreciates that, I am sure. No, but so the world has systemic unconscious bias, whether it's gender, race, sexual identity, all the above. And so as women, we're not raised the same to be always confident and always believing in ourselves, and we're critiqued by our bodies and our voices and our opinions. And it's something where, this little birdie grows on our shoulder called this little imposter birdie that sits there and tells you, like, you don't belong here. You're not good enough. And we have to learn how to tell the imposter birdie to sit down, appreciate you humbling me, but I'm going to walk into this moment with confidence, and I am going to believe myself as being the strong, independent, very smart person that can lead and grow, and know that you have to do that sometimes not with having all of the answers. Mm-hmm. That's the other thing, is that we sometimes allow fear to penetrate our decision making. I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm wrong. I don't know how this will turn out. But a big part of leadership is having confidence in your ability to make the decisions that are right at the time and to bring your team along and to support them. And that confidence, while not taught in our society, is something that we can teach ourselves and support ourselves in having. Lidiane and I have had many times together where we've given each other confidence and strength and reminded each other, you don't know everything, but we are here together, and we have trust, and that's just so important.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because it's a common misconception that people have about individuals in leadership, that everything has to come from you, that you have all the answers, that you're all knowing and all powerful. But we're not the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz in this situation, you know? Like, we're human, and humans are fallible, and we need the support of our teams and how to delegate. When you became leaders, what was like the biggest revelation for you in like trying to like just navigate that leadership space and trying to be that North Star for your company, make the right decisions for your team, knowing that on the inside, there's so much going on emotionally?
I would say that teams really want to feel that their leader is telling them the truth, is transparent and accountable, and very open and accessible. And these are things that when you have a leader, that you know that they are communicating their vision and their strategies and their plan very openly and transparently, it builds trust. And so the deepest learning is, for me, that you need to build that trust, be authentic, be vulnerable, and it builds that trust. It cultivates this sense of, okay, I believe in this leader, I trust this leader. She will tell me not just things are good, but also if things are not good. And that's very important for people to have that trust in their leader and CEO.
Yeah, for me, I never sought to, be a leader. It's never been like the thing that has been the goal. I love building products. It's my passion. It's where I get the most joy. So even from early on in my career, it's always been about how do we get a group of great people to build the product, and that's where you see me get most excited. My team will tell you all about it, even if they tell me I should get out of those meetings. But it really is, when I think about that, it's about driving direction, it's inspiring. And as you grow, and now as CEOs of a company, it's so important for me that I think we are all people, as you said, especially in today's world. We're all looking to be inspired. We're looking to have an impact and to matter in this world. And so I'm really proud to be leading an organization that's mission-led, because we are really focused on supporting our members. So now we're united as a team behind a mission that we really believe in. And as Sarah said, how do I want to show up? I want to show up as a human being also. As you said, we're people, and some days I have great days, some days I don't have great days, but I want everybody in our organization to know that is okay, not just for me, but all of them, and that we're creating an environment where everyone is seen, where everybody can do their best work, and can be proud of the impact that they're having each day. So not perfect by any means, but certainly I'm excited by the culture that we're developing as a company.
Oh, incredible. When you were speaking, I had this vision. My father was in management in the aerospace industry. I'm actually the daughter of an engineer. I tried engineering camp. It didn't stick, but I did it 2 years in a row just to get out the house. Now, my father, I knew I would have his life and not my mother's life. She was a stay-at-home mom. And so I would watch him go to work every day, be a leader in the aerospace industry, and then come home and my mom literally did everything. He'd just turn on the TV and zone out because he was so stressed out from his job. And I realized the reason why he was so successful is because he didn't have to deal with any of the other stuff. He didn't have to worry about me and my siblings. He didn't have to clean the house. He didn't have to cook. The meals were prepared for him. And so I want to talk about the concept of sacrifice, watching him go through that, and I realized as a woman, it was really unlikely that I was going to find a partner who's just going to be like, your dream is the dream, and I'm just going to help support your dream, because that doesn't often happen for us as women. And so my sacrifice is I don't have kids, and I've been unmarried for a large portion of my career. What has been a sacrifice you felt that you had to make or give up in order to pursue your dreams?
Well, I'll start. I'm a believer that I can really achieve my goals in general. So I have a family, I have 2 kids and a dog. And for me, it's really about being extremely thoughtful about my time, extremely thoughtful about, when I'm home and when with my kids and with my dog, I'm 100% there, mentally there. notifications are off, all of that, like clear boundaries. So that I can be truly present. But when I'm at work, when I'm in my team's different locations, I'm 100% there. So it's been really important to figure out how to manage that. It's taken energy and time. But I do think everybody, there's more dual like leadership couples nowadays. I think families in general are figuring out how to navigate that. For me, it's really important to be a great mother, a great wife, a great CEO for the company. And it's not perfect, but we're making it work. One final thought on that is that a proud moment for me is that we're really great role models for kids and for younger people. I was home a few weeks ago, and my 9-year-old came down with a purse and one of my heels, and she said, "I'm playing with my friend as I'm a CEO on a business trip."
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, how awesome is that? She also plays dolls and
Of
a million
course.
of other things, but I don't know that a lot of little girls were playing CEOs, a while back. So I'm hopeful that more of us will figure out how to manage this, and we'll have more opportunities for girls in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I love the story of your daughter because, I mean, my 2 daughters is my purpose every day, and also all of our daughters, all of our young girls in this world, where if they can be what they can see and they believe it, then hopefully we can change the ratios for the next generation. And for me, I'd say sacrifice a bit along the way of, I was engineer, mother, now CEO, product lead, a bunch of things. I also believe, as Lidiane does, that we can have it all, but it requires prioritization. But that wasn't a lesson that I've learned until more recently. And it's interesting and somewhat serendipitous that Lattice is a company whose mission is to make work meaningful. And a big part of that is to connect what you do to the company goals. So you feel like every day you're coming and doing something that's helpful for the company. And that's a very important part of feeling connected to your job. And so in terms of sacrifice, there's been a lot of sacrifices along the way, but I believe that I am a whole person. I am a mother, I'm a CEO, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm all things at once. And it's important that we don't sacrifice ourselves. That's the most important thing that you can't sacrifice, is what is important to you, what is your passion, what drives you every day. And I would say, as my career, I also didn't have a perfectly, linear career from student to CEO. I meandered along the way. I learned something at every place. And what I've developed over time is clear identity. And that is something which, no matter your career choice, you should be very happy in what you're doing. You should be very passionate about what you're doing and working with incredible people that you trust. And that is something that I just would say, never sacrifice that.
Oh, that's so powerful. Lidiane, when you mentioned your daughter, that really sparked a memory for me. Me and my sisters, when we played Barbies, Barbie was never getting married or anything. Like, even though we had a stay-at-home mom, and it was in a very happy marriage, it just never occurred to us that Barbie would have, focus on that. We were always played Barbie goes to college. Barbie is an astronaut, Barbie gets a job, Barbie gets her first apartment, Barbie gets first car. That was the types of ways that we played. And so I think about what you both are saying about the power of that image, of being able to see a woman in a leadership position. Because when you're able to see something, you're able to achieve towards it. You're able to idealize that. Was there someone in your life or some figure that you saw growing up or as you started to ascend in your careers that was inspirational to you, that thought, okay, this could be possible, I could do this?
Because I grew up in such a poor neighborhood of São Paulo, my role model really was my mom, because she was a house cleaner doing 3 jobs, trying to juggle it all. And I was like, wow, if she can do that, I can do more. I can do better for her. She's still one of my best friends. So she has been my role model. But I think for right now, I've been so inspired by Whitney Wolfe Herd, who's the founder of Bumble, and it's amazing what she's accomplished in 35 years of her life. It's amazing how young she is. So it's been a really great friendship and partnership that we've formed.
I mean, for me, I would say that pre-COVID, I remember there was an article that said there was more men named John in the Fortune 500 than there were women. And I read that article, and it, lit me up. I was like, this is not okay. And I said, I want to be a CEO. I want to get on that journey. And it was, that was 5 years in the making of laying down the pathway to get there. People put you in a box. And I wanted to escape the box. And I want every other woman to know that there is no box. You can be whatever you dream. You can do whatever you want. And there is nobody to put you in a box or a corner. And so the lack of that is what drove me, because I'm like, this is not okay. And for our daughters, they need to be able to see this. And I want every daughter to play CEO goes on a business trip, or astronaut goes to space. Whatever it may be, whatever they dream, our women should be able to do it.
Well, that is so incredible. We have to stop, but this was amazing. You're both powerful, incredible women, and it was really an honor to have this conversation with you both. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.